Caleb with Brownells here, and today is the first video of our bolt action build series. In this bolt action build series, we're going to be using the Aero Precision Solus bolt action rifle system, and we're just going to be using the action. So I'll get into why we're using this action here in just a bit, but things you can expect in this build series, what we're going to be doing is of course going over this action. And we're going to be choosing a bunch of different parts for the build and show a bunch of different options that you could choose from. And then we're going to choose some and we're going to go through a detailed build of the entire rifle. So there's really, whenever we're selecting all the parts, there's really no right or wrong answer to what parts we choose. It's all going to really be personal preference. So we're not showing all the parts that are available because we simply just don't have enough room or enough time to do it. Because there's a lot of ways you can build this thing out. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the actual Solus itself. So this is the Aero Precision, and whenever most people think of Aero Precision, they think of AR-15s, but that's no longer the case. All right, I'll just get all this out the way. You kind of get the full unboxing here with me. Here's the action itself. All right. Now, it's technically a Remington 700 footprint, as it fits in Remington 700 stocks and chassis, and it takes Remington 700 triggers. But the barrel threads are not Remington 700, so that's something really important to note. The actual barrel threads themselves are going to be for the Savage small shank, or the Zermatt origin. And the reason they did that is to make it easier for the, novice builder to assemble, because the Savage small shank uses a barrel nut, and using a barrel nut you don't have to worry about using a lathe and reamers for head spacing whenever you're installing your barrel. It's something you can do at home with just a barrel vise. You don't need all the super expensive equipment to get that done. So that's the reason they did that. And I mean, honestly, I don't think I've ever shot a Savage rifle that shot bad. That barrel system is a really good way to install a barrel. All right, so going through the box here, we have a barrel nut that comes with it. So we'll get into how to use that later. And let's just pull out this piece here. So this bracket, this is just a piece that comes with it. This is what you're going to use to install the trigger into the action, and of course we'll get into that. Alright, now we have the actual bolt itself. So you have 3 lugs on that bolt head. The bolt head is removable, so this one right here is set up for 308 pattern stuff, so you can do 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, everything with that rim diameter. And the bolt head is removable, so you can remove the bolt head and change calibers that way. So if you have something that's a different rim diameter, you can do it just by changing the bolt head, assuming it's still small action. So this is small action, so you're not going to be able to do any of your large magnum calibers or anything like that in this. But all the most common stuff that most people would want to do, I'd say, like what we're going to be doing, we're most likely going to be doing a 6.5 Creedmoor. And that's perfect for this. All right, 3 lug bolts, 60-degree throw, and interchangeable bolt knob. So the bolt knob is threaded on, so you can change out to whatever you want to use there. But we're just going to be sticking with the factory one here, honestly, because it's, that's a pretty solid, nice setup there. All right, let's see here. And then in the box, we just have some more small hardware for that trigger group, and a barrel nut wrench. So this just is exactly what it sounds like. Has a driver for your torque wrench on there as well. And that is the Aero Precision Solus action. So this is the base of our build. This is the heart of our build. All right, so next up, while we're at it, we're just going to go ahead and go through some different barrels. We're going to go ahead, I'm going to show you a few different barrel options, show you what we're picking and why we're picking it, and go from there. So we'll be right back with that. All right, so let's take a look at a few of the barrel options. First up, I want to mention this international barrel here. This one's in a 308. Of course, you can get these in a number of different calibers. But this is a really good option It's a bit of a heavier contour. If you want to do something that's super lightweight, this is definitely not the barrel for you, but this is a very nice, well-machined, 5R rifled, accurate barrel. It comes in a variety of lengths, and it has that Savage style barrel nut on there, so it's super easy to install. Whenever we actually get to the barrel installation process, I'll show you how to install both styles. I'm going to go over here today. All right, so international barrel, and then we're going to take a look at some proof research barrels. You're not limited to these two options. These are just the two I'm showing you here. Any Savage small shank style will work just fine. All right, so this is the proof research, and man, just picking it up compared to the other one. This is a carbon fiber wrapped barrel, so it is super lightweight. And Proof is, if you're not familiar with the name, they are known for making very accurate barrels. All right, so if you want to go with something a little bit lighter weight, this is definitely the one to do it with. And if you notice, there is a large threaded shank here. So these don't come with the barrel nut, but our action did. So basically all you would do is screw your barrel nut all the way down, screw your action in, install it, and like I said before, I'll show you how to do all that in the installation video. So there is that, and these two are Savage small shanks. Now I mentioned before that this action will also work with the Zermatt style barrel threads here. If I can stop this barrel from rolling, okay. Now if you notice, the threaded portion on this is a lot smaller, and there's a defined shoulder. Because this one installs like a traditional bolt action rifle barrel. So it's just going to thread in, it's going to stop on that shoulder, and where it headspaces is where it headspaces, okay? You can't change that headspace without machining this. So in most cases, I'm going to recommend just doing the Savage small shank style for the average builder, unless you have access to a lathe or a mill, or if you want to end up taking this to a gunsmith to fit it for you. But in our case, I actually headspaced this whenever we got it just to check it. It headspaced just fine. So reason that you may not want to go with something like this, you're kind of rolling the dice whenever it comes to getting a pre-fit barrel to an action. We got fortunate with this one, but some of the things to consider here, and I'll tell you why you need to consider these things. So for example, if this barrel did not close on our no-go gauge, so we're going to use a go gauge, then we're going to use a no-go gauge for head spacing. I'll show you exactly how to do that later. If you're not familiar with any of that, some of this might not make sense now, but it will later, I promise. All right, so if it doesn't close on your no-go gauge, you would have to remove a little bit of this shoulder here to get the barrel to sit further back into the action, right? And that's assuming our chamber is cut correctly. So then our barrel is going to sit further back in the action. Then it may work just fine, or the face of this barrel may actually be bumping into her bolt now. So what we'd have to do in that case is not just remove some of the shoulder, but remove some of the face. And anytime you remove some of the face of this barrel, you're going to have to go in with a reamer and deepen that chamber, because you're also removing the back of the chamber when you do that. So that's something to consider there. There's a lot to it if you go this route. Now, if for whatever reason it doesn't close on your go gauge, then from there you're going to have to basically do it the other way around. You got to start with removing or deepening that chamber. If your bolt's not hitting the face of this, if your bolt is hitting the face of this, you need to remove some of that, then the chamber. So that's some of the things you could run into going with this style of barrel. I know that's a lot of information. If that was overwhelming to you, I would say just stick with the Savage small shank, because you don't have to worry about any of that. All right, so those are some of the barrel options we're going to be going over here. All of these barrels, I showed you a 308 and a 6.5 Creedmoor. They all have threads at the muzzles, because we're going to be adding a muzzle device, and they are all threaded 5/8 by 24. That may change depending on what caliber you're using, so just be aware of that. All right, so that's barrels. Let's go ahead and take a look at the triggers. We'll be right back. All right, so these are the triggers we pulled here. Of course, as I mentioned before, there are a lot more options out there. These are just some I pulled to take a look at. All right, so when it comes to triggers, most of it's going to be personal preference, I'll be honest with you. But you do get some advantages by going with a more expensive trigger. Whenever they're adjustable, you end up with a wider range of adjustment, and they tend to go a lot lighter. And something else we need to talk about is things like creep and over travel and things like that. So the actual feel of the trigger. So creep is what I'll define as, whenever you start pulling that trigger to the time it breaks, what it feels like. It should feel like a nice clean break. And all of these triggers I pulled here are going to give you that nice clean break. Now the only difference is, let's see if I can find it here, the blue one. Yep, here we go. This is actually a 2-stage trigger. The rest of these are single stage, if I'm not mistaken. And between single and 2-stage trigger, it's going to be personal preference. A single stage trigger is right when you start pulling that trigger is your wall. So you're just going to have one clean break. A 2-stage trigger, you're going to have a little bit of take up, then you're going to hit that wall, then it's going to break. One's not better than the other. It's all personal preference. I tend to lean towards 2-stage triggers most of the time. All of my AR-15s, I shoot Geisley triggers for the most part. So this will kind of give me a little bit of familiarity, if you will. We're going to say that's a word for now. All right. Now, Rifle Basics trigger. I only have one on the table here, but it is a really good option. They make triggers for a lot of different bolt guns. This one is adjustable to, let's see here, 1.5 pounds to 4 pounds. Includes all the instructions you need, just your regular 700 pattern trigger. That's made really well. Now we have all these Timney options. Timney, they've been doing this since I think 1946, if I'm not mistaken. So a few years longer than we've been doing this actually. Now, as I mentioned before, this is 2-stage. They have some different stuff here. This is the Elite Hunter. Now you notice the Elite Hunter is a 2 to 4 pound pull. Now that's technically a little bit on the heavier side compared to some of these other ones. But if you're hunting, you don't want an ultra lightweight trigger. Lighter is not always better. Safety comes into the fold there big time whenever you're hunting, because you're not going to be sitting on a bench. In most cases, you're not going to be sitting on a bench, nice and comfortable, where you have full control over everything. Now, so hunting, I'd recommend something a little bit heavier. I typically, personally, my hunting triggers are all between 3 to 3.5 pounds. This one goes down to 2, so again, that's personal preference there. And you need to know your own capabilities, basically. All right, so now let's take a look at Trigger Tech. They've been making some really good, really light triggers here lately. You can get into these as far as bench rest goes. These are really popular bench rest precision type shooting. Just a really good trigger. I've used them quite a bit. Now, this one here is another 1.5 to 4 pounds, and this one is 4 to 32 ounces. So with the diamond, you can get pretty light there. Again, it's all personal preference. We're going to be going with this 2-stage. And as far as installation on these goes, we'll get to that. The installation is going to be the same for each one. So whenever I show you this one, that applies to pretty much all of them. Something else I need to note here. On this action, the bolt release is actually on the side. So to remove the bolt completely from the action, you have this button here on the side. A standard Remington 700 has a lever on the bottom of the trigger, which I'll show you on this diamond here. That little lever on the bottom is what removes the bolt. So all of these, I believe, have that on the side. This Trigger Tech diamond does not, but the Trigger Tech primary does. Okay. Now, on a lot of these, on some of these you can remove them. You don't need to remove them, and I'll get to that during the installation. I'll show you about all that. All right, so that's triggers. Let's go ahead and take a look at some chassis. All right, so somewhere where you have a lot more options is going to be chassis. As you can see, we have a lot of them sitting up here, and I'm just going to go through what we have here so you can kind of make a more educated purchasing decision. That's one thing looking at them on the website, but when you get to see someone manipulate them, it's a little bit different. And I'll just start with this one I have outside the box here. This is the MDT XRS, and this one has the optional wood furniture add-on to it. I saw that, you know, we carried this and I wanted to see it in person. So I pulled it through the wood panels on there, and I personally really like the way it looks. We may very well be using this one. This is a really cool one. Now, as you can see, these things interchange on them. If you don't have the wood on them, it's going to be polymer. You can get different type of grip attachments that mount on here as well. And the cheek piece and length of pull on this is adjustable. So the cheek piece, you just use these two knobs here to adjust it. For length of pull, you add different spacers in. And takes a AICS style magazine here with the mag release on the bottom. And then you have M-lock rails and a sling stud going across. So if you wanted to, you could add a bipod that mounts M-lock. You could add an Arca rail to the bottom of here. Whatever. That sling stud is removable. And you can, of course, just use a bipod that mounts directly to the sling stud. Whatever you want to do on there. So that's the MDT XRS. I'll set this aside here. All right, so let's see here. We have another MDT chassis. I'll show you. And this one's actually pretty lightweight. It has a lot of features, but a lot of them are carbon fiber, so saving a lot of weight there. I'll just open this up and show you the pieces. I'll just pull this out of here, and man, that is super lightweight. So this here is not aluminum. This is a magnesium alloy with carbon fiber. And I actually haven't messed with this yet. You're seeing the first time here. And it's super lightweight carbon fiber 4N. That will, let me slide it over so I can show you. That will mount up just like that. And this is probably the most feature-rich chassis of this weight I've ever messed with. Because I mean, this thing is super light. I can't get it across to you on camera how like crazy light this thing is. All right, this one in particular has a folding stock. Push the button here and it will fold. Has a double hinge mechanism there. That kind of threw me off. Check it out. You can see it right there. And the big print there that says press to open, we're going to need to press that to open it. And it folds back out with a really solid lockup. So with this one, you would, for adjustable cheek height on this, you just loosen these two screws here, slide it up. For adjustable length of pull, it comes with spacers in this handy dandy MDT box. Also has your hardware to mount this 4N and action and things like that. All right, and again, AICS pattern magazines with a nice compact magazine release. And we may end up using this one now that I got my hands on it. I'm having a hard time choosing between these two. All right, we'll throw this back in here. Again, sling stud on the bottom, M-lock rails. You can mount bipods, Arca, you know, whatever you want to it. All right. We'll get this one out the way. And I don't know if I actually said the name of it. This is the HNT 26 chassis. And this thing, at the base setup of it, starts at 26 ounces. So, I mean, this thing's fully, like, with the box and all the packaging, is lighter than most stuff out there. All right, we'll set that one aside. And let's take a look at, let's see what we have here. Yeah, we'll hit this KRG. Alright, so this is the KRG XRay, and I'm just going to pull all the hardware out of the box here. You have your stock spacers for adjustable length of pull, adjust it even further, and I'll show you why there. Go ahead and pull this out. All right, so a nice basic but very solid and rigid chassis here. You have a full length aluminum all all the way up to the fore end. You can attach a bridge on top of it for using, you know, night vision or whatever you'd want to put up there. You have the M-lock all the way across the bottom with the sling stud. Again, we go over the features of that. You can attach pick rails, ARCA, bipods, you know, whatever. AICS pattern magazines. This one's also pretty lightweight too, because they use the aluminum, but then they cover it in a high impact polymer. So it's nice and solid, but also really lightweight. Adjustable cheek piece via this knob here, raise and lower. The butt pad itself, we'll open this up here, and you can raise it up and down, tilt it, and then to get different length of pull, we use those inserts I showed you there. Let me try to remember here, righty tighty, lefty loosey. All right, we'll just tighten that back up, and I will put it in the box. All right, now, really cool palm swell on here. You can actually change that out as well, and it would be good. So I mostly shoot lefty. This would be, even though it has like that thumb hole style, it's really over exaggerated, so you can shoot it comfortably from, you know, left or right hand. The cheek piece is set up for a right-handed shooter. You can loosen this, flip it around, and then you're good for left hand. All right, so that is the KRG XRay chassis. All right, so we have a couple of Christensen arm boxes up here, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we have. All right, we have this is kind of a, as far as looks go, this is more of a traditional style stock. This is just a big carbon fiber wrap stock here, and you have a palm swell on it that's pretty oversized, but it's really comfortable for this style of stock. This one's lightweight, but it's pretty basic. You have a pick rail on the front here. You can attach, you know, bipods, whatever. And this one isn't bedded like I'll say bedded. It doesn't have aluminum bedding in it like those other chassis. So with that, you run into, you know, maybe you would have to bed this action, of course with Brownells Acro Glass, because what else? All right, but moving to the back here, adjustable length of pull that just uses the dial here. It's really easy. So that's going to be extending your length of pull. And then adjustable cheek height. You just turn it and raise it from there. I'm not going to go up all the way with those. I'll put them back here. And then a nice solid butt pad on there. This one does not use, or it doesn't have any integration for an AICS style magazine. So you will need to use bottom metal if you use this stock. So that's something to note there as well. And bottom metal being just something to interface at the bottom of the action and hold your rounds. And bottom metal will also contain a trigger guard. Now all of these we covered do contain that, but note that this one does not, so you'd have to get that in addition. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit more traditional style, this is definitely the one to go with. And of course, we don't have any here in front of us, but you can use a standard wooden Remington 700 style stock as well. All right, now going into a little bit higher end of some of the Christensen Arms stuff here. This is a full chassis. All right, and this is the MPR chassis. So MPR standing for Modern Precision Rifle Chassis. This one, as you can see, also has a lot of carbon fiber on it, so it's super lightweight. But you have that aluminum base here, the aluminum actual bedding area. But it's super narrow. This has a really, I don't know if you can see that there, this stock has a really narrow profile, which is nice. And comes in different colors. Of course, we got it in gray because of everything else I tend to do. All right, so the fore end itself, you have M-lock on the sides and bottom with a removable pick rail. Again, all those other things, ARCA rails, bipods, you know, whatever you want to mount on here, you can mount them on here. Alright, and then you have some holes on the top. I believe that is just for ventilation. So barrel gets hot, there's room for that heat to go. Alright, now it comes with a Magpul MOE K grip, but important to note, this thing will take any standard AR-15 style grip. So your favorite AR grip, you can throw it on here. Alright, and this one is a folding stock. So you push this button here, just really low profile and out of the way. Push that, and it folds in. Then you have a nice and compact chassis system there. Alright, so for length of pull, you just loosen these two screws here, and then you can slide that buttstock out. And then for your cheek piece here, you have these two screws as well. Alright, this one, AICS pattern magazines, with your magazine release right there. Alright, and that is the MPR chassis from Christensen Arms. Alright, now we'll take a look at this small box here. Like, it's kind of hard to picture a rifle chassis in a box this small, so let's take a look. This one is from Sharps Bros, and we'll get the destructions out the way. This padding here. Alright, here we go. This is the core of your chassis here. Nice billet machined aluminum. Alright, and then it also comes with a forend that mounts up to the system like so. And then you have M-LOK all the way around. You have M-LOK on bottom, sides, the angles, and the top. So a lot of mounting options here. You also have sling attachments for QD swivels on this forend here, which is a really cool feature. And if you notice, there's no stock or grip or anything like that on this chassis. And it does take AICS pattern mags with the release right there. Alright. And for stocks, 1 3/16 by 16 threads, your standard AR-15 receiver extension. So you can put your favorite AR stock, whatever it may be, onto this gun, or onto this chassis. Same thing goes with the grip. Put your favorite AR grip on there. Those two things you add to it, and you are good to go. You have a nice, solid, really customizable chassis. Alright. So I know with a lot of these chassis, we're just kind of breezing over some of the features, not going into super detail, but it should give you enough information to decide which one you would want to go with for your build. So this one here was the Sharps Bros Heat Seeker chassis. We'll get that one out the way. Alright, so Aero Precision, of course, makes the action. They didn't want to make the action without making an awesome chassis for it. So let's open this thing up here. And I just want to mention, before I even show it to you, it comes in multiple colors, but of course we went with the Sniper Gray. Alright, set that box aside. This one comes fully assembled. The forend is technically removable, but they threw everything together for you there. This is a fixed stock version. I want to note that as well. It does come in a folding stock version, so you can go either way with that. It comes with this nice palm swelled Aero Precision grip here, but you can replace this with your favorite AR-15 grip. That's no problem. AICS pattern magazines, nice magazine release there. Full aluminum chassis. The forend itself has M-LOK on the sides and the bottom, but the bottom is also an ARCA rail, so you wouldn't need to add that. You have full length ARCA right there, and I'm really glad they did that. You have reinforced QD inserts here, and then some more QD up front, sides and bottom. And then you have drilled and tapped holes up here, so you can add a bridge for whatever you want to mount over that. And you have a nice adjustable thumb rest right here on the side. And then moving back further to the stock, you have a bag rider right here on the bottom with another QD swivel in it. And the actual adjustment, loosen this all the way here. You can push the button and slide that cheek piece to whatever height you want. You have nice little indicators right there if you can see those. And then once you set your height, you just tighten the knob down. And you do the same exact thing with your length of pull. You don't need to add any inserts. You just loosen this all the way here, which I believe it is. Then we just pull it to whatever position we want and tighten it down. Alright, so that is the Aero Precision Solus chassis. Another good solid option there. Alright, so that's all the chassis and stocks we're going to be looking at for this build series. Like I said, there's a ton of different options out there. But another thing to consider, whenever you're selecting a more traditional style stock, the barrel channel, like a lot of these chassis have a really wide barrel channel, so you can use whatever barrel diameter you want. If you're going with something more traditional, you need to pay attention to what your barrel channel contour is and what barrel contour you're using to make sure that you have clearance there. Alright, so with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at just a few muzzle devices since we're running a threaded barrel, and we'll be right back. Alright, so muzzle brakes. This is another one of those areas. I have 3 here. I could have done 3,000 and they would have all been different. There's a bunch of different ones out there. But my favorite 3 for bolt gun builds that aren't suppressors are probably these right here. So I'm going to take you through them. This is the Meraki machine right here. And it is a self-timing muzzle brake. And if you can see it there, this one is labeled 6.5. Now, you can use 6.5 on 308 brakes. I recommend getting if you're going with a muzzle brake, get a muzzle brake that is specific to your caliber or your bullet diameter, because that's how they're going to be most effective. If you're using let's say 6.5 for example, or 6mm, and you're using a 30 caliber brake, it's not going to be as effective as it can be. You need to be closest to that bullet diameter you can. Usually most really good brakes usually are somewhere around 20 thousandths of an inch over the bullet diameter. That's usually the sweet spot. Different companies do different things, but point of all that is try and get something that is specific to your caliber. Alright, and this is a 3-port brake, nice and compact. If you're going with something lightweight, you want to do a really lightweight build, this is a good option. Alright, and let's take a look at the MDT. This one here is a boss. This is a really heavy brake, but it is a really effective brake. MDT's done a lot of research with recoil reduction and different stuff like that, so they've really fine-tuned their muzzle brakes. Now this one is also self-timing, has a nut on the back there, and again this is a 3-port, but it is a much larger, a little bit heavier brake, but a really effective brake. This one in particular is 30 cal. Again, you can use smaller calibers with it, but for reasons I stated just now, you may not want to do that. Alright, so one of my favorite brakes on the market for anything ever is the Area 419. This is the Hellfire for 6.5 Creedmoor. This is probably the one we're going to go with our build. It's not a super lightweight brake, but it's also not a super heavy brake. It's right there in the middle. It has all the material it needs and none that it doesn't. Also, the timing system on this one uses their Hellfire system, so you actually install this to your firearm. Alright, this mounts over your 5/8 24 threads, and then you have this taper here, and this taper is where the actual taper on the inside of the muzzle device interfaces, and then it reverse threads onto there, so it is technically self-timing. But the cool thing about this is you can pull this device off and use any of Area 419's muzzle devices. They make a bunch of different muzzle devices, including their suppressor. You can mount their suppressor right to this. So if you're a fan of Area 419 and their stuff, this is definitely the way to go, because you can interface a lot of their products with it. And that's the one that I think we're going to be going with for this particular build. Alright, so that's 3 options there. Now, you can use the standard, muzzle devices, muzzle brakes, suppressors, whatever, all that stuff you use on your AR-15, you can use right here. Just make sure you use the right thread diameter and, of course, bullet diameter. All right, so that's all we're going to get into for now as far as part selection. We're going to go ahead and move into the build series and start actually assembling this thing. Now, I will say this. There's a ton of options out there for optics and mounts. We're not going to cover that just yet. We're going to go through the full build. Then we'll talk about options as far as optics and mounting goes, because that's a huge area there, again, where it's a lot of personal preference and stuff like that comes in. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the build series. We'll do that in the next video here. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube, and hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever that build video comes up. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.